in. Night shift! The boxes get dusty to years go by, but the stories and the friendships never really die. So roll up the chair, let's talk for a while, because collecting's always better with a smile. We're never growing up. We're never giving up. It's podcast from the Midnight Shift. Podcast from the Midnight Shift. Night Shift. Podcast from the Midnight Shift. Midnight Shift. Podcast from the Midnight Shift.
Hey, good evening. Welcome back to Podcast from the Pit, the Night Shift.
Yeah.
I'm Casey. With me, as always, is Eric, Hillbilly Harper, Mr. Joe A. Raw, and joining us from Whiskey Jack Toys, we have Darren and Chad. How are you guys tonight?
Good, thanks.
And if you don't know, Whiskey Jack Toys are
Yeah, did well.
the ones behind Legends of the Hidden Force.
Yeah.
So if you got some Legends of the Hidden Force questions, this is the night to do it. But that's one of my favorites right there.
Trashy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he turned out great.
Just the color scheme is awesome. I think you guys really nailed it with the color schemes.
Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Matt does a great job with that stuff.
Uh,
I want to
I
see
don't
some
know.
real
I don't know how
building.
much. I don't know how much you want to go into it yet. But funny thing about Tarashi was my son. He was about 7 or 8 years old. He was in karate classes and wanted to grow up to be a ninja, and definitely was part of my interest in doing a ninja line in the beginning. And he loved Tigger. Tigger was his favorite. He had all these Tigger stuffies everywhere. And so now my son's 19. Oh my God, he's 19 anyways. And he's got Tarashi's hair. He's got like
Nice.
long blonde hair done up and whatever. And I mean, the character was an homage to my son, and he sort of grew right into the character. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah. I like good backstories on stuff.
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated on like all you smaller, like independent toy companies with, how you make this, what was the thought process, and just, the whole going, sending it to the factory, having it done. This is all fascinating stuff.
Fascinating.
I was gonna say, it's good you
To
got
me-
Chad on, because Chad did all
Yes.
of that part.
Yeah.
That was all Chad.
It's fascinating to me because I don't have to deal with the stress of it.
But it's still kind of fascinating now looking back at it because I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, we did that. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was just saying before you got here, Chad, that
Yeah.
the biggest moment for me that clinched it, like that cinched everything, that was like, oh my goodness, was when boxes showed up with Whiskey Jack Toys
Mhm.
like printed on the side. I was like,
Yeah, right.
oh, this is it. We're there.
I know.
Like we're legit now. So yeah.
Let's see who's in the chat. Then we'll jump into your guys' stories. Wes, good evening.
Hey, Wes.
Mr. Paul Morales, good evening.
Hello.
One of the best voices in the business, Better Ray Bob.
Better
man-
Bob. He's
the
awesome.
man could read
The
phone books.
Yeah,
Yes.
phone book. Read me a dictionary. I don't care.
Yep.
I'd listen to it. One End Toys, my editor.
Greatest
And if-
editor in the business.
If you haven't checked out his channel, please do so.
He does a good job.
amazing stuff. And especially for being very new. You can't tell it. Mudhorn Station, good evening. Nate, all the way from Australia. What's up, buddy?
Good morning, mate.
Maximum Moore. What's going on, Max? We'll have more people rolling in and out.
Angry Max showed up on one of his last reviews.
Well, I don't blame him, honestly.
Yeah.
But if got another one. Hold on. Chris Smith, good evening. We're just going to do a quick what we picked up. Then we're going to get into any questions for these guys and, questions that we have. So, Hillbilly, what you got?
Okay. First thing I gotta say is spoon. Got the tick. I've been waiting for this since the cartoon came out. I got the first tick action figure that came out. You push down one's back and he jumps, but I've been waiting for this guy. I'm so excited. And then Joe A-Raw does ship.
That is awesome.
Yeah. He is so cool. The Ambassador. And I got that book. The book actually has a tentacle coming out of it. I'm trying not to drop him. But it is so cool. I dig it.
610, what's up, buddy?
Hey,
Very nice to meet 610 at Joe Fest.
I seen how he got his name.
Yes. He's not exaggerating.
No. Literally 6'10".
Yeah. I never seen his face before, but I knew who it was when we walked in.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just show what I got real quick, unless you got something to show off, Chad.
I don't think so. I mean, I bought Leeds Maximo the other day from the new Age of the Proms line. I picked him up at Walmart just because I didn't know if I was gonna get him, but there he was, but
That's cool.
That's about
Nice.
it. I know.
Hey, Jez, I hope you're feeling better,
Hey.
buddy.
Good deal, Jezza.
It's good to see
Take
you.
care of yourself, man.
Just real quick, I got in my Wave 2 Operation Recall figures. I got Bengal. She looks good. I like the colors on that one too. The light blue. I got in. Oops. I hate the peanuts. The Ratello. Again, I like the light blue with the green. So
That's cool.
it's a good looking figure.
Comes with a
And-
parrot or a homing pigeon, doesn't he?
Yeah. Now the one I didn't think I ordered him, but that Saul Eagle, which I'm
Yeah.
super glad I got him because I love wrestling. So this is awesome. Super happy to have it.
That's cool.
All right. All right.
Those
go ahead.
I was just gonna say those are awesome. I haven't seen Carson's figures yet. I haven't got mine, but I'm very much looking forward to getting mine. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got the ninja one. Shockingly,
Oh,
I don't think he may be the next wave or the wave after.
or the
that.
one after. Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
Shh was his name.
right.
Right. Nice. And hey, did that tick? Did he come with little wooden boy?
No, he did not come with the 2x4.
Oh,
He
no.
he come with the Viewfinder of Evil, a necktie, 3 heads, an extra set of hands, and a really cool stand.
Wow. My favorite episodes of the tick were the ones with little wooden boy and the civic minded 4. That's all I remember. Those were the ones that stand out for me.
I might have to make the little wooden boy. Thank you for that. Challenge accepted.
Will it be an easy custom?
No. I thought this was going to be an easy custom.
You've been struggling with that one.
Yeah.
You're your own worst critic. That's why you struggle with it.
It's done now. So, ta-da.
So, my first question is, all right, now you told us about your son and you made that one. What was the whole just premise of, all right, I'm going to make a ninja line? Because that's not something you hear a lot.
Sure. Yeah. There's a couple things. There's a couple factors. There was one, we had when we were Red Laser, we had a handful of molds, and we really had to explore those molds to their fullest to figure out which were the best possible figures we could do. And so we would, every time we would get something, it would get explored to death almost. And there was, I think actually I mentioned this in one of our episodes recently, was that when I bought Black Major's business, he part of the deal was there was a Storm Shadow mold in the process of being made, and that was it though. I didn't know at what stage it was at, and so at some point we decided, even though we didn't know where the stage of the molds, we decided to let's get going on some designs. And then we found out when Matt was well into the design process, I think he'd created at least 20 or 30 characters at that point, or mock-ups, that not only was the Storm Shadow mold that was partially made not there, but the Baroness mold was missing, the Cobra Trooper mold. Half of what I bought was gone. And so that's a whole other story for another day. But so we had a ton of Ninja designs sitting there dormant. So that's part of where this came from. But then the other part was that when Red Laser ended, when we decided to put it to bed and start something new, maybe like when we put it to bed, we didn't know if we were going to continue on. It was just, let's take a big step back and a big breather and figure it out later. And I dabbled in a couple of things that weren't really doing it for me. And I really, really wanted to work with these guys again, because Red Laser was the best learning experience, and we're friends, we're close, and I couldn't. So even though I was getting into deals with other people, I just couldn't commit because I wanted to get Matt and Chad on board with doing another thing together. And so we knew that we had a small budget, and so whatever we did would have to exist in just a couple of molds. So we trimmed down all the different ideas that we could do with just a couple molds, and then it was literally Carson announced he was doing his line.
Yeah.
Steve, who's a friend of mine, he actually lives close. Steve is Delta 17. He announced he was doing a military line. And there was somebody, and Jason, another friend of ours, who's actually sort of becoming one of our group. Jason was doing Strike Force Alpha. And so we were like, okay, well, there's military. Maybe we should take our non-military idea and just to not, and Longbow was in the works at the time too.
Yes.
So we were like, let's do our non-military just so that we can add something else to the pot, just so that we can be doing something different. And that's where we started. That was our starting point. So,
of course, that was when we really go back to the first conversations we had of doing Hidden Force. We're almost at 6 years at that point.
Yeah.
So I think we even announced, like, we started talking about this even before some of the military lines even were kind of brought out. And I think the idea of ninjas just was like what Darren was saying, all the mold designs that Matt had done for the Storm Shadow mold. And the more you talk to Darren, you'll find out Darren is full of ideas. Like you could say, hey, Darren, I want to do a pirate line. And this time tomorrow, he'll have 14 bios like kind of sketched out. So I think I don't really know exactly why we settled on ninjas beside Matt having those designs. And one of the things that Matt and I really liked were some of the unproduced concepts that G.I. Joe did on their Legends of Agrisha Kage line, like the Ghost Ninja and all that. And we just thought, we like ninjas are fun. We've always liked those. We're part of G.I. Joe anyway when we do that kind of stuff. And my ultimate goal was always like, because Darren and I talked about this the other day. I was like, let's just do hard master, soft master, Billy, blind master, soft master, and so I was kind of resistant at first to kind of branch off these other ideas. But then when, Darren and Matt were talking, coming up with ideas, like you said about Tarashi, he's got a guy named Tori coming out who is special to Darren too.
Yeah.
It just kind of morphed from there, really.
Yeah. And we, and not to plug our own show, but we do the next two episodes, the one that came out today and the one that comes out next week, we have been talking about this. So there's more there.
Let everybody know where to find that show.
Yeah, sure. It's on YouTube. It's Whiskey Jack Toys, the YouTube channel, and the show is the Whiskey Jack Weekly.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
So that was where it all started, and then the way that we produce things in general as a collaborative is we just start throwing every idea all of us have at the wall, and just seeing what sticks out for people or what trigger something in people, and it's like, okay, well, let's explore that, let's develop that, let's work that into something. And sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes it does. And I think that well, Matt was showing the other day, Matt brought it up that the original thing that I'd showed, or when we came up with this, and 6 weeks later I'd handed him my refined ideas, and I think I'd created 7 teams and like 60 ninjas and whatever, but not with the intent that that was it. It was just sort of like, okay, well, here's this, let's start trimming. And that's sort of our process. Is like, I take all the ideas I have, and then we just start cutting it down into what are the good ones, and then put effort back and forth in developing it until it's good, until we're happy with it.
So how many you think you had before you started trimming? Because I got a feeling there's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, but I will say this: there's 6 figures per wave, and we have 24 waves framed out. We have 8 fully hard set. Like, we know the look of that figure, not just that he's going to be or she's going to exist. Like, they're done. The mock-ups are done. They're ready. Like, yeah. And then the others, they're in conceptual stage. A lot are in hand drawn, not finished, what have you.
So the 10 figures that came out, are those considered wave 1 or wave 1 and 2?
So we originally did the Kickstarter, and we were a little ambitious. You'll see that's a common fault of mine. I go a little hard, and I think we tried to do all 24 of the first 4 waves at first, and it just didn't happen. And we knew that halfway through, it just wasn't gaining traction. So we pulled the Kickstarter and told everybody we'd retool it and come back. And so what we retooled was, we found the biggest response and the biggest interest was in waves 1 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
So internally it screws us up, but because they're just the first 2 waves for you guys. But to us, it's waves 1 and 4, and then we've got 2 and 3 coming out soon, and then we're back onto a regular. Or not soon, but that's what's being worked on now.
Yeah.
Now, will that be a Kickstarter, or
we're trying to avoid it? We might have to do. We might have to do a little bit of crowdfunding, which would be in the form of like some pre-orders, and we would put an incentive to do the pre-order to thank you for helping us, because we've got the majority of what we need. We have the majority of the tooling, majority of whatever, but it's just that production cash. We just don't have that capital yet. And so by getting a handful of people to do some pre-orders, but the other thing too that should be noted, our production took just over 2 years, and a lot of that had to do with tooling. Our next wave needs no new tooling. So when we talk to the factory, we're looking at somewhere around 5 or 6 month turnaround from when we give them the money to when it ships. So it won't be nearly the weight. Yeah. It won't be nearly the same weight.
And I honestly, I've said on record that I don't do Kickstarters anymore because of the waiting for, and I know things happen, but we're looking at 4+ years for Longbow. We're just now, you guys were only like almost 3 years or something like that. And we've got everything.
I had one guy message me, and he looked at his pledge date, and it was almost to the day that he received his figures.
Yeah.
So,
but
we lost a year. Yeah.
I will say you guys have delivered, so I would be more comfortable with that.
Right.
That's the thing.
We definitely are trying to avoid it. I think the decree that we had, or the sort of, I mean, it's whatever. Things are open to change and adjustment, but I think what we wanted to do was just say, let's not beat Kickstarter to, like, it's already a shaky platform in that just what you said, a lot of people are feeling burned out. And so if we're going to use Kickstarter again, it's going to be for Impact, which is the next line, or Chaos. We're not going to do it for Hidden Force. Yeah. Hidden Force is off and running on its own now.
I like the idea of pre-orders. I like that.
Yeah, because we aren't looking for a ton of people, and we aren't looking for a very long time period. It'd be short, and we probably need 100 people to pre-order 6 figures, and we're good.
And that's going to help us going forward too, because when we got to the factory, we sent 16. I think we got 16. So we sent 16 different figures to be made at the same time.
There's 2 waves, the three specials, and then one figure that no one's seen yet.
Right. and then we have a Bake from wave 2, right?
Yeah.
So really, it's kind of like 2 full waves. But talking to Jason of Strike Force Alpha, he said he did the same thing, and he kind of felt the same kind of idea. He's like, we want to go in because we want to make some capital, but when you go in with way too much to do, that just adds to kind of what the factory has to deal with. So going with 6 figures versus 16, and then figure stands, and then 3 accessory packs, it's going to make it a lot more manageable for us.
Oh my god. Sorry guys, my battery's just about dead. I'm gonna have to reconfigure here a tiny bit.
You're fine.
Okay.
Now, at Joe Fest, I picked up. Now, was this an exclusive just for Joe Fest?
So that one was one that Big Bad Toy Store and Cotswold had available. They helped us with that one, and the Brown Ninja Raken. Both of those guys were made available because Big Bad Toy Store and Cotswold helped with pre-orders. So
right. So they weren't intentionally. That wasn't an intentionally made figure. It was sort of an after the fact.
Yeah,
they threw in a little.
I mean, we wanted to, because the clear one Akira there, of course, is kind of where we got the idea for the line name, at least. He's a homage to the clear Hidden Force Remco Ninja from their American Defense line. So we definitely wanted him out. So it was glad that we had an opportunity to do that.
Now, is he still sold out, or you got more?
Nope.
I'm glad I got him.
Yeah.
So he's the one that, when we talk about running our next wave, is to looking into maybe doing a second run of him, because he is our protagonist, which we found to be a very good thing, that our protagonist was the most popular pre-order.
Yeah.
That means we felt like we did a good job on the design on that one. So,
and even the story, just by telling everybody that he was the key character and it all centers around him, just the fact that everybody knew that he was the key figure and he sold out. That's.
I think he's a good guy. That's because our main bad guy Obake, who is awesome, he didn't sell nearly as well. So that's a good sign too, because a lot of times I know we love the bad guys.
Oh yeah.
Darren wants to do an entire line of bad guys.
Yeah,
that would be
We've
cool.
got a massive line of bad guys coming.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah, the one thing I would say too, and I can't make any promises, but it is something that's been floated, is that if we went back and made Shinobi again, he might get a slight paint difference or a slight variation, just so people could tell the difference, just so people could say that they've got the original versus the remake to fill demand. So
that would be good.
Yeah.
Be like, I got the version 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there any plans for any kind of 2 things I love about this scale? One, I love troop building. Is there going to be any kind of troop builders coming to flesh out armies?
There already is one. The Kianchi is one of our troop builders.
With the one that you have opened, the one that you showed me, the only one you'd opened so far. That's our troop builder. That's our first one.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's the Kianchi are the basis of our story is in the area that these people live called Harai. There's this mystical flower that lives there, or that grows there, and each of the different clans we have, the Aka, the Sabo, the Seichi, all use a different part of the flower for different types of abilities. So Aka uses the stamen and kind of abuse the power of the plant. Well, Obake he's kind of turned those guys you saw, the Kianchi, and they're just like villagers, but he's turned them into like mindless. We use the word zombie for it. But they're not dead. But they're under his power and control.
Like drones.
Yeah, but they're kind of frenzied too. Like they're kind of erratic and frenzied, but yeah, they follow him. Whereas the others use it for slight improvements in, like, faster reflexes and better sight and whatever. The flower can be used in many ways.
Yeah, so I could use the better sight. I know that.
I could use better reflexes.
That's why one of the one of
But-
the characters actually came with the flower, just because.
Yeah, Akashi does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So another good name for that troop builder would be Black Friday
Yeah.
because everybody's in a frenzy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we have,
hilarious.
and I like that you're looking on the back of the package there. You can see on all of the bad guys packages, all the what we call them the bad guys, all the Aka clan package shows some of the future figures that have been designed, and same thing with like the good guys. But
Right.
we have for as far as troop builders go, from the Seichi clan, they're kind of based off animals, and
Mhm.
like the Japanese zodiac, and we have one called the Hibigi or Hibi. Have we determined how that's
Yep.
pronounced? G. But it's like snake-like, and so we've got a green one. If you look on our website, the hiddenforce.com, you can see all of those. But so they're like green and yellow ninja troop builders, and then we have what's called the GU or the Jiu. Matt and I always
the
say the wrong GU.
The
They're gray, and they kind of homage the Comic Pack Snake Eyes 2-pack that came with almost a samurai looking Storm Shadow,
Mm.
like in his little ninja togs. And
I like them
they're
too because they sort of remind me of the Hand from Marvel Comics too.
Yeah.
But
And then we have some called the Jiangshi, which are kind of unaligned, and they really are kind of like mindless zombies that terrorize kind of the areas around the different clans. So
Yeah.
and then we have a lot more planned, but that's our current 3 that we have aside from the Kianchi.
Troop building is a big thing for me, especially in this scale.
Yeah.
Also, world building.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That
huge for
Yeah,
us. We've talked about it endlessly amongst ourselves. Like
All the
how
time.
do we get the story out? Because we have a very deep and thought out story. Like we have a lot of lore. We just don't know how to get it to people.
And
I
finding
heard
the time to do it too. I mean,
Yeah.
I love comic books, but I heard it's not really financially
Yeah.
Yeah.
a good
I've
thing
looked
to
into
do.
it. We even thought about doing a manga, like a
Well,
manga
printing of the
style.
comic book, I think, is what's really expensive. So,
So maybe
more-
online or something.
yeah, when we've talked about that one too. Yeah,
Just biting the bullet and taking the expense and not even actually making a comic, just putting the comic or the visual storytelling online for free somehow.
Warforged Industries, they do a blog and they put it on their website so you
Okay.
can
Oh,
keep up
interesting.
with the story that's going on.
Oh,
I'm just trying to throw an idea out there.
No, we listen to all ideas because that's the thing. Like it's all changed, and we don't know. At one time, we were going to do little novellas, like little
Mhm.
short 50 page stories, and then at one point we were going to do like almost like a podcast storytelling where we all take on different character voices and literally do like act out what the comic script would have been.
That
we
would
talked-
be
That'd be
because you
cool.
could,
Yeah.
you could do that in like a serial.
Yeah. Well, we thought, and I've literally, because I used to do some voice acting, and I've actually approached some of my voice actor friends, and was like, "Hey, if we did this, would you be interested?" And they're like, "Yeah." So who knows? We'll see where it goes.
So if
I
you
know
do,
I
If
think
you-
is it the Templars? I think that's the newest line
Yeah.
that we've kind of seen out. I think they're wanting to do like mini comics, kind of like the Masters of the Universe did.
that'd be
I
cool.
think
Yeah.
that's one of the things they talked
I
about.
like
But again,
I-
all of those things present their own difficulties. So
Oh,
yeah, I talked to Terry like 2 days ago, and he said he wanted to get the comics out first, and I didn't even realize there were comics. But he said I changed my mind and switched gears, and we're going to actually include parts of the comics in with the figures. So I don't know what that format is, but
mhm.
I love the mini comic idea.
Yeah.
That was a big thing when I was a kid getting my Master of the Universe, or when I buy Origins now, to get
Yeah.
that little mini comic. I think that's a great idea.
yeah, I mean, when G.I. Joe, what was that, 2004, 2005, when they did the comic packs, I thought that was
Mhm.
brilliant. Like I thought that was the best possible, because a kid doesn't have the cartoon at that time, didn't have the cartoon like we did, didn't have anything. So they're like, well, what are these? I'm like, well, there's a story right there, including those 3 figures, like It's perfect.
By the way, that's a funny idea. I like that beta
Yeah.
rip off. Yeah, like
I do too.
have the actual guys like moving them around. Like
Isn't that what Matt said though a little while ago?
maybe, yeah,
He was like, maybe we do some sort of stop motion, like partial, and then
yeah,
narrate
man.
it.
he had
Play
mentioned
motion.
something like
Yeah.
the what was it? Ninja Battles. There was a Ninja Battles DVD.
Oh, yeah.
You guys remember that? Came with Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, and then it was the Black Dragon and
Yeah.
and the what
Tiger
was it?
Claw and something.
It was somebody. It was a
Yeah.
red ninja looking guy, and it was like kind of stop motion. It was almost like
Yeah.
it was like moving pictures.
I've
Right.
I've
Yeah.
got that DVD, and yeah, it's like moving pictures. It's different.
Yeah. I mean, for the capabilities that we have, and we're a 4-man team here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, something like that's kind of nice. You know, because you could do, using the figures and not necessarily going all through the stop motion stuff, because that's another animal in
Oh,
itself.
that's a long process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I always thought it'd be a cool idea to take the figures, do a
Mhm.
story with them, but have the pictures laid out like a comic book
Yeah.
Yeah.
instead of doing
Yeah.
Actual
They're like-
animation.
Kinda
Yeah.
like
yeah.
what Justin Bell did with
Oh yeah.
storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
cool.
Bruise them up.
That's a deep cut, Darren.
I
That's
thought I
25
thought I was
years.
being genius, but
Iconoclast.
somebody else beat me to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I've been working on for years now, and I can't keep coming back to it, is so much of our love for G.I. Joe. There was always the designs that always had to kind of grab you, but when you took it off the peg and you turn it around and you read Larry's file cards,
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a character. I mean, I like Breaker, because he was from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which is an
Right.
hour and a half from where I live. So of course we find that out, and you're like, well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So it's something that I did when we did Red Laser and we did Sightline, is I created a little trading card to mimic the Milton Bradley G.I. Joe cards. And so I'm still working on. I'm getting close.
Yeah.
With our own trading cards for the Legends of the Force, which would be another way to get kind of the story.
It would, yes.
Right.
Because we're looking at opening our online store here in the next couple of weeks after BBTS gets their pre-orders out, and so I'm trying to finalize all of that stuff right now. It's just there's perfectionism in it that which sometimes leads to paralysis, So
Yeah. For
That's-
sure.
I'm glad you guys are getting your own story. I was trying to find a link to the so people can go to it. I was going to put it in the description. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't find one.
the Hidden
Yeah,
Force, the hiddenforce.com.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't. I was looking at Whiskey Jack. Gosh,
Well,
I
Whiskey
should have
Jack's
looked up the Hidden Force.
there's a Whiskey Jack store too, but we decided to sort of suspend all that until everybody that pre-ordered, whether it was
Yes.
through us, through Cotswold, through Big Bad Toy Store, we just felt that it was the right thing to do. Let's get everybody that got on
Sure.
board early, get them taken care of first. So
Makes
Good
sense.
news is, as of Sunday, all of Big Bad Toy Store's packages, all 24 of them, I think they had like 13.
24 cases.
It's 20. Yeah, it ended up being 23 cases and then a half case. Yeah.
Wow.
It was like 1,300 and some items. They were posted on Sunday, and they should be in their hands by the end of this week. Meaning,
Cool.
then they have to process their orders too. But
Right.
Cotswold has theirs, and I know that they're shipping their pre-orders out because they were a little faster, but they also had 4 boxes versus 24, so it was a little
Right.
quicker
Right.
to get their stuff
Oh,
to
yeah,
them.
sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah, just a smidge.
yeah. God, that's been a lot.
So
Yeah, and it's all been just Chad. I mean, it's just been you doing it. So
if y'all ever decide to do a radio drama like
Yeah.
that, if you need a really strung out hick,
Yeah.
not really strung out, but
yeah,
somebody that can't speak fluent English,
Well, they're all Japanese, so if it's broken, it's fine.
Yeah, no, you'll have to be able to speak fluent Japanese to get on.
Oh shoot.
Right. We could do a voice dub though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So
So out of all of the figures that you've done, what is your favorite figures?
oh my God, I asked this of people people on our show. What is so out of the figures that we've produced already?
Yes.
It's really hard. It really is, because in the whole process of making the characters, you find deficiencies or things you don't like about them, and then you work on ways to make them better,
Mhm.
and you redevelop them as many times as you need to get them to the level that you think that they're awesome. And then so now I'm left with 15 characters that I think are awesome. So
Okay.
it's really hard, but I would say I'm sort of more attached to the kids, the 5 kids that the story centers around, Shinobi and his 4 friends. I'd say, but then I think Obake is a great villain that we've created. I think he's a very classic villain, the kind of person that is just crazy and unhinged, but he thinks that he's doing the right thing for the people and the world, and like you can't be convinced otherwise. And I don't know. I think I like all of our characters. I don't know.
I'll use this, and this one of the things that we talked about with some people at the show. I'm not sure who we talked to at Joe Fest about what, but one thing that we did to the design process, because Matt's our lead designer, like all of that funnels from Darren's like, hey, I want this guy, like Fury, by the way, he's the red and gold, like kind of monkey guy with the Kusarigama, and
I like
Darren,
him.
Yeah, I love him.
and Darren was like, yeah, I want a monkey king. The only non-negotiable is you got to have the Kusarigama. And so Matt came up with a guy that looked like an ape or like a gorilla, which you'll see later on. His name's Satori. And Darren was like, no, but he's awesome, but no. And so, so through that process, we ended up doing a color study with people that we knew. And Matt he got a Google form and put all the pictures on there, and then was like, hey, tell me who you like. Tell me who you don't like. Tell me why you like them. Who do you think is the main good guy? Who do you think is the main bad guy? And that gave us a lot of different kind of ideas to kind of play with, because some of the things, I forget how Matt said it. When you're stuck in that bubble, you see things in a way. I mean, like people have kind of talked about not having names on the front of the packages. But we were kind of in this bubble of like, well, it's generic packaging. All the names are on the back. But now we're kind of looking back, and one of the things we have on our store are stickers that you can put on your bubbles that have names on them.
I think with all the color characters.
I think Rodney Wiggum, I think he posted a picture because I gave him a shoot at the show that he was talking about. So, but the cool thing about that color study was that you find that everybody kind of has their own favorites. And I always think back to what somebody once said about the G.I. Joe line, because people are like, oh, well, he's not realistic. Nobody's going to run into a battle in a football jersey. And you're like, yeah, but somebody loves Bazooka because he's football jersey. And somebody loves Airtight because he's yellow and green. And I saw some guys at a show years ago at a Joe show, and they were wanting to get something signed by Larry about Psych Out, because that was their primary military specialty. That's what they did in the military, was what Psych Out does. And so,
cool.
And so having this broad array of colors and designs. So I'll give you my favorite after I tell you who other people chose. So my wife wanted one, so I let her. She took Tarashi, and he's the tiger guy, the guy that you pointed out earlier, Casey, and a guy I work with. He's been really supportive of me. He picked Tarashi for the same reason. I just it was like he stands out in a certain way. And then my brother's daughters, his oldest picked Fury, the one you just showed. And then his youngest picked Shinobi. My daughter picked Knockout.
Really?
So she's like.
And your wife picked Fury or Satori?
No, she picked.
I'm joking.
Oh yeah.
She hates them.
She loathes them. She's seen the design of them. She hates that face because it's kind of unnerving. the little monkey face. But I thought I was gonna like Shinobi the most, but when I got him in hand, man, Obake is just awesome in hand. Like the plastic and the white color of him, and the way that he pops, and they did a really good job on the tempos. That's one thing I can't say enough about the factory. Is I would put our paint apps up against anybody.
I
They
would
did
too.
a fantastic job.
They stand out.
Yeah.
And just beautifully done.
Yeah, they really did. They really did. And the person that helped us along in those final hours with the factory, he's agreed to sign. He's sort of signed on to get Impact happening, our next toy line. He's going to keep working hand in hand with the factory and us, of course, to speed up the process next time, because he has a long history with them and he knows how to get the best out of them in a very short time, whereas we didn't. We were all getting to know each other. So yeah. Or Chad was getting to know them. I barely knew them, but Chad knows them pretty well now.
Yeah.
Another one I really like the colors too, and I like how it fades in, is this one. The blue and the purple.
Right.
The way those fade in together.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
That was one of those figures that upon the design, I remember actually Matt saying, I don't think we're going to be able to make this. And I'm like, I bet you we can. And I texted the factory or emailed the factory right then. And I said, is this possible? Is this fade in? This, whatever, is that possible? And they're like, yeah, why wouldn't it be? We're like, awesome. Perfect. Well, okay, we just hadn't seen it before, right?
And he tested really well. That was my wife's favorite. And like when it was just a digital version, she thought he looked awesome. And who's it? Mark Webber, is that right? It was the one that he was like clamoring over.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know
think
that.
you guys did a podcast with him, and that was the one that he really liked.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but what was wild about that's Raiju. What's wild about him is that the factory got him right the first time. Like there were no revisions, but then Kusa, he's the one that's kind of Stalker-esque with the green camo.
Yeah.
It took 7 revisions from the factory just to get him to where he is, and he's still not the way we mocked him up. He was supposed to be a darker green, and that his base color was a different camo, like the kind of the.
Well, it was supposed to match Stalker, like
and it's the light green was supposed to be that organic camo, and they ran him in the wrong color, and then we're like, okay, we'll go with it, and honestly, I think it was a happy accident because I think he looks better. He looks great in that green. But they get one camo right, and then they leave. One would be the wrong color, and then they'd get the other one right, but then his logo on his chest was the wrong color. And I mean, somebody as complicated you'd think is Raiju with that color fading.
Yeah.
Yep. But he did have less tempos because I mean, Kusa does have 3 separate applications aside from the paint. Yeah.
Did you say which one is your favorite?
Me or Darren? I like Obake in hand.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the first one that I opened. Yeah.
All right. So it's hard for me. I have 2, and it could change when I get them open. But I like, and I'm not good with their names yet.
Yeah,
that's Omen. Yeah.
Yes.
Or you can call him Storm Shadow if you want to.
He's our Storm Shadow analog.
Yeah, for the Ninja Commandos.
He looks great. I like the bow. And I think Badger, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Badger.
Yeah, and that's Ninja Commando Flint. Yeah.
That's So those 2, the Ninja Commandos, the 5 figures that were supposed to come out in 95. The abandoned designs, or I guess they aren't so abandoned. Some copies made it out, but we just made more affordable copies or versions. They're interpretations.
They sold really well in our pre-orders. We were looking at the numbers the other day. I think those 5 were in our top 7 pre-orders.
Yeah. And I'm really surprised Kudan, the Road Pig one, he really struck. Like I did not expect him to sell in the numbers he did. Like,
so with the one you showed, Omen, the Storm Shadow looking guy, that's one thing that we were really happy about with the bow. Unfortunately, the string that the factory used was a little too tight. So we included, a little thinner third of string with everybody to have. But yeah, he can hold his bow. He looks really great. And I agree with you with Badger. Alman, who's working on Impact with us, Badger was his favorite too. And he was one that surprised me because when I was doing the Paint Masters, and I'm painting them. I'm like, this guy, he really olive green and terracotta with a silver stripe. But
It
dude,
works.
when I put that figure together, and I'm like, this guy looks really, really great. So
Yeah. Those two that you've chosen, I would say those are two that I hear the most feedback
mhm.
on various social media. And the one thing that people do love is the unexpected that Omen's bow shoots. Like you can shoot
Mhm.
that arrow. But the other is just how unique Badger is with just those
Yeah.
couple extra pieces, like the cloth goods that just set him apart from everybody else.
I mean,
When
who
you
doesn't
talk
like
about
soft goods? You know, you gotta love soft goods.
well,
Yeah.
you were kind of talking about the process behind all of this. You know, if you look at all of our Ninja Commandos, if you look at all their weapons, we call them our champions of the Hidden Force. They like Budo or the Dido has
Yeah.
Budo weapons. We have the one you just picked up has the version 2 Storm Shadow weapons to kind of homage in there. And the one thing about Badger is that again, we if you know anything about Red Laser, we do a really good job of hitting really deep cuts, maybe sometimes too deep.
Too
with,
deep.
yeah. But with this one, the reason why he has soft goods is if you look at when Hasbro actually used that, I guess it was Kenner, technically, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He used that mold was on the movie edition Raiden figure that came out for the Mortal Kombat line.
Yeah.
And so if you look at his tabard, we took the Raiden tabard and drew it out. And so the tabard that Badger's wearing is meant to duplicate the exact one that Raiden had. And then, of course, the reason why we gave him that canonical hat was the same reason, kind of that Raiden homage.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But again, that's we don't expect anybody else to pick up on that, but it made all of us really happy.
I know, absolutely.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah.
I did not pre-order Badger. I thought
Yeah.
I did, but when I got my package, I'm like, "Where's the guy with the hat?" You know, 'cause I will learn their names. I promise, because I
Yeah.
do love these.
It'll take time. It's all right.
And I was like, "Oh man!" Then I'm like, "Well, maybe they'll have them at Joe Fest," and I
Mhm.
got them at Joe Fest.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I just need to get some.
Yeah. Yeah.
I-
Yeah, we've got lots. I mean, not all of them, but we've got lots.
I'll be checking them out.
Awesome.
So, what's the other project you all have going on?
Impact, the International Military and Police Anti-Crime Task Force, IMPACT. It's a collection of specialists from all over the world, pulled together for one organization, and they deal with threats or international crime that crosses too many borders and there's too much red tape. They're the ones sent in to take down these big sprawling empires or whatever, these cross-border problems. So specialists. So there's a lot of, it started off as a way to, we were collecting up a whole bunch of abandoned characters from abandoned IPs, and we were like, yeah, let's put him in it, like that guy from 50 years ago or 40 years ago, and let's put him in it. All these things that nobody really owned anymore. But it definitely grew from that really quickly. Like at first it was all that, and then now I'd say there's maybe 30% are some of those homage characters, and the rest are ones that we've made up. So yeah,
Can't
And
wait
then-
to see what you're doing there.
thanks. Yeah, we had some on display at the booth. Was that the whole weekend? I wasn't there.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, that was the whole weekend. Yeah.
Nice.
And that's our buddy Alman Ellis that's working with Darren on that one.
It's a group effort.
My role is always kind of funny. I started as what we call the creative consultant, which mainly was Matt would call me on his way home from work on his 45-minute drive, and we would just chit chat. But Alman's he's kind of spearheaded the design on all of the Impact, and Matt's doing a lot of the color studies for that. Actually, he's done all the color studies for that.
Yeah.
And I think there's not a lot that's been shown online. But I know that there's a Facebook group or Facebook page and Instagram. You can look up
there's an Instagram
Impact,
for it.
Impact Hammer Down. If you look for that, you can kind of see stuff. But
Yeah.
we're looking for a Kickstarter for that coming up. We say the fall. We don't know exactly the time frame yet, but they're working on kind of imaging right now and getting all that stuff put together.
Yeah, and so that's going to be even smaller than we were going with Hidden Force. I think it's just the 10 figures.
Yeah.
But Ullman has gone crazy with tooling and molds,
Yeah.
and every character's got a full unique kit. Like nobody's, I don't think any weapons duplicate.
The jetpacks have some parts
Yeah.
that were reused, but the fact that he's got the removable parts, he can share parts with those. Too.
Yeah.
Did you say jetpacks?
Yeah.
We
yeah.
did.
So
Yeah.
the story centers around, the story begins, and I'll just give you the quick Cole's Note versions. The story begins with a specialist that is loosely related to them, and he's discovered a huge breakthrough in jetpack technology, and all of a sudden he's on the run because people are conspiring against him, and so he's taken in protective custody, and but immediately the people with these older jetpack technology, which is a group called the Carrion Crew, they are immediately after him because they realize that they could be unstoppable with this technology. So that's sort of where the story starts, and that reflects all the characters that are being brought in. So Ace is the guy that you're sort of seeing the story through his eyes at first because he's the new guy, he's the newbie, he's being brought in, he's the one that's being protected. And again, same thing. We're in the same spot of storytelling. We're like, how do we get the story out? We've got a full story here, so we'll figure it out. I hope.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Alman is fantastic at he directing his ideas and getting sculptors to work with it, because like I feel like his molds and sculpts they look awesome.
They do. And working with the same talent pool, which is funny. Like, we're getting some of the molds from some guys, and they're great. I love them. Like, we've got a ton of stuff for other future toy lines, a lot of stuff backlogged. But then Alman works with those same people, and they're just like, you're just like, holy smokes! Like, this mold is insane. It's incredible. Look at this detail. And yet, it's just he can extract that out of the sculptor.
It is hard. Like, hey, I want it to look like this, and then providing the right feedback to get it where you want to. I mean, some of the stuff that we got for Hidden Force, I mean, Matt even had to do some adjusting on that. But I think for Kudan, who's the road peg looking guy, I think Matt, he started learning how to, because the guys that did the sculpting from this were Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent a picture of Conan the Barbarian, and it was like, Schwarzenegger. He's like, this is what I want his muscles to look like.
Wow.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll look at it next time. You're like, oh man, because you have to be really specific with the direction you want to go in, or the sculptor will sculpt it how they want to, because they're kind of filling in the gaps that were left there for you.
Yeah,
I mean, they're artists too, so they want to put their stamp on it. So
absolutely. And that's just it. And the less descriptive you are, the more you're getting what they feel it should be.
Right.
So it's really hard to be super descriptive, but
Oh, I get that. Another game changer, you guys, are the stands.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you like
these
the stands?
these stands
That
are
went
awesome.
back, and you have no idea how long that took to develop the stands and what they would ultimately be, and how we could make it do it under budget. Because there were a couple of interpretations. It was like, oh well, that's going to need a 3-function mold or 3-function tooling, which is super expensive, and you get little out of it. And it's strange how much went into that. And Matt would be ecstatic that you like it.
Oh yeah. Well, and we noticed it right away. The moment you put a figure on that, what we call the foot wedge, I mean, it just changes the way that you display the figures.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know exactly what led us that kind of went that way. Matt and I, talking about things. I know Rodney Green, right? Quick Kicks Dojo. Yeah. He had done something similar to that many years ago, and I don't know if it was one of those things we saw that, or we kind of had the same idea around the same time. But I want to give Rodney some credit for that, because it was a great idea. And then even the hole in the stand that if you've got a weapon, you can kind of put in there. Matt's got future ideas for more elaborate stands. So, for example, Raiju, the one with the throwing knife, the kunai, he's got a stand that would have a clear rod with a clip on the top. And so you could actually have the kunai out and the chain stretched out.
Yeah, so you could display him like throwing it, and then
Yeah.
you would actually have the second rod holding the displayed
Mhm.
weapon out.
That's cool.
And you could
Yeah.
do that with Omen's arrow as well. You could have him with the bow in hand, but the arrow kind of
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Also with the GU come with
Mhm.
ninja stars, throwing stars, and you'd be able to have those like extended from their hand. And
Yep.
yeah,
That's
Had
great for photography.
Yeah.
I've got a Goku model
weird.
that I did. It's got like his Kamehameha wave, and it's got a stand just to hold the Kamehameha, like make it look like he's shooting it. But that's a
Nice.
brilliant idea.
yeah.
Well,
Well-
we're customizers at heart. I mean, that's how we all met. You know, back in the day, Darren and Matt, and Matt and me. Of course, I've known Matt my whole life. As
I'd
far
say, I
as
think
the
so,
Known your
yeah.
twin your whole life.
but as far as the Joe stuff goes, like we'd always kind of grown up customizing things. I told Darren the other day we had made G.I. Joe Legos back in middle school and painting them up, but just the idea that our hands are removable, our weapons are you can assemble them however you want to, our heads are swappable, and just the idea, like, we want these to be toys, like we
Yeah.
want these to be playable. I mean, yeah, they're collectibles because of the price point, but we want people to be able to look at these and be like, oh, these are fun, these are
Yeah.
cool to have in hand and fiddle around with, and photography. That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's huge for me, because like I absolutely agree. I want kids to want to play with these, but I also know the majority of the people that are buying them are people like me, men like me, and I want them to not just display like hands to the side, whatever, on a static battle stand. Like, I want every time we make a figure, like, it's going to have a cool pose on your shelf, and
Right.
and that's that, like, just to stand out, be different. So like a lot of the play sets and accessory sort of diorama pieces that I've got planned and I've been working on with a few people, they're mostly they're it's a play set, but it's also, you can always use it as just a display piece. Like, it's meant for your shelf, so you don't have to find more real estate for it, and then you can it's for your figures to sort of
Yes.
silhouette against.
Play sets. That was going to be another question. 'cause
Yeah.
I love play sets.
Yeah, I mean, that comes with budget. We don't have that budget yet, but we have a lot of stuff designed, and I'm having a lot of fun. Some people know, I have no problem saying the name, Eric Aranya. He used to be from Boss Fight, and he
Okay.
does
Before that.
a lot of people in the industry know him. But he and I have been working on a lot of the accessories and Dio display pieces for Chaos, which is coming up. But also that easily, like, he's ready and willing to jump in and work on Hidden Force and Impact too, as soon as we get there.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I think
Yeah.
I like the one piece that Matt has designed for like a Dio and things is like I'm trying to think of what we would call it. Display, like a weapon display stand. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's got
Yeah,
one.
that was actually one of the first things we tried to make, was so that you could get a figure and on the battle stand put a stand for the accessories for the weapons. And
It's got a little it has a little box at the bottom, so any of the accessories get stored in there, and it's got a place for like weapons racks and
so we'll hope to get to that soon. I hate to say, guys, I'm here. It's almost 5:00, and I promised my staff,
Oh, you're good.
kitchen staff,
You're
that
good.
I'd be back on to help the kitchen. So I'm gonna have to jet. Great seeing you all,
You too.
and thank you for having us on, and thanks for letting us plug our YouTube channel with our podcast.
and
And
our website.
yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are welcome back anytime. I
Yep.
love talking about this. I'm sure we'll have a lot more questions because this is a fantastic line. I can't wait to
Thank
see
you.
where it goes.
Thank you.
Yeah, and absolutely, we love coming on. Please have us on as often as you like.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. With all
Okay,
that being
thanks, guys.
said, everybody in the chat and Chad, Darren, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see everybody Saturday morning.
Yep.
Where we have chicken fried toys Saturday morning,
Oh,
8
nice.
a.m. Yep.
Awesome. Cool. All right. See you guys.
See ya.
See ya.